Welcome back to Dragonfinder Kingmaker, episode 14. We are finally managing the kingdom. So, our village, with its stats, and hey, a name that we can rename. Let's see. No. Tuskdale. I mean, okay. So the barony is called Ilia. If I'm gonna stay on theme, then let's see. Tuskdale. Let's see. Oh, jeez. I have a handy document for this. One moment, please. I'm just going to look through that document, and I have a bunch of names that I can go for. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'll go with who? Yeah, apologies for this taking a moment, and it's important to get a good name. Yeah, I think we'll keep it simple. We'll go with this one. Tantalus. Boom. Oh, whoops. Enter. No, that wasn't the thing. Constructing buildings. You construct buildings to increase your barony stats. Each building has a cost of BP. You construct several buildings simultaneously. Start constructing. Select the building you need from the list on the right side of the screen and place an empty slot in the settlement. Okay. Special bonuses. Buildings provide special bonus if you meet certain conditions. Most commonly, two buildings will stand close together to count the bonus. Make sure you use this feature to the full benefit when planning a settlement. Some buildings can be placed only in designated spots or areas. As example, a pier must be built on water. A mill must be built with no other buildings around it. Okay. Demolish buildings to get rid of it and recover half the resources you spent in construction. If you want to move a building, you will have to demolish the old one, gaining half the resources you spent, and construct it in a new desired slot for half the price. You won't have to spend an extra BP. You have to wait for the construction to finish in a new location. Okay. Build. Right. Okay. Interesting. Well, we have 450 BP to start with. Piers. Shrine. Wooden wall. Okay. Herbalist. Okay, so that's loyalty. And provides additional stats. Arcane. Can we upgrade to Alchemist? Right. Granary. That seems important. Ooh, lumberyard. Shrine, smithy, watchtower against for espionage. Be built in separate slots. And that seems important, right? Let's try that. Up, we'll place down a windmill. That needs to be built. And then naturally we'll also need a granary. And that just makes sense, right? Windmill, granary. Monolith. Restricted to baronies with a neutral alignment. Hey, that would be me. Monument for community and loyalty. Well, and I think a barracks. City guards, militia, and military forces. And adjacent to a longhouse. Longhouse, community, divine, and culture. Holding meetings and discussions. Okay, I think that's also probably important. It affects almost everything. We'll need that. It's probably something we want to build in the middle. Okay, and I'm gonna place one more thing for them to work on, at least for now. Want a barracks. And barracks should be near the wall. Okay, we're gonna leave this for now. I want to consider for a moment also the actual kingdom projects. These all seem like important things to get. Oh, and I guess we should get a pier. That also seems like there's something important to get. Right, okay. That's where we're gonna leave that there for now. Those seems like bare essentials for yeah, advisors. We'll go there next. Okay. Oh, okay. So these are the characters available to us and the roles they can fill. We can currently only fill 5 of the 10 slots. Who the heck is this even? Who are you? I don't know. Right. Well. The Regent. Regents are subject to complaints and concerns are heard by the rulers and serves as a link between the Baroness and the people. Okay. Our options. Octavia, Valerie, Lander. All strives to solve problems peacefully. The letter of the law. Makes decisions that favor both his own interest and those of the barony. I'm assuming I can change regions. Regardless, I'll go with him. He gives a good stat boost. And though not perhaps entirely wise, I think he knows what he's doing. I'm going to place him in charge for now. And let's see. Oh! Claim new regions to expand your territory. Open the regions tab on the right side of the screen. Select the relevant project at the bottom screen. Claim a region will allow you to significantly increase your barony stats and found settlements in new lands. That's what you must do to claim a region. Meet special regional conditions. That's complete a quest or reach a certain rank in one of the stats. Collect sufficient BP. Find an unoccupied advisor who can take charge of the claim. As soon as you start the kingdom project to claim the region, time will automatically speed up for the next 14 days. The time it takes for you and your advisors to claim the region. After your new territory is claimed and annexed into your domain, the boundaries of the state will change and you will receive all bonuses granted by the claimed region. Okay. Can I... Okay. Looks like there's no... Yeah, I can just switch. Right. The Counselor deals with troubles. Common folk, land disputes, agricultural matters, and citizens remain loyal to the throne. Tristane. Literally our only option. And it's based on his wisdom score. Okay. General. Amiri or Regongar? It's based on their strength score. Favors a direct approach. Is hot-headed and direct. And they both seem hot-headed and direct. Also, you're evil. You're a little bit brutal and violent. They're both brutal and violent. Amir's a little bit less cold-hearted, brutal and violent, though. Gonna go with Amir. I'm assuming that she could still be a party member as well? It seems like a bad idea to make her general, but I don't like the idea of putting Dragongar in charge. No candidates available for the position of treasurer. Okay, High Priest. Now here we have options, probably. Jod and Arim! Arim! Wisdom +5, yeah. Unusual but effective solutions. Yeah! Okay. That seems good. Declare the outskirts as part of your kingdom. "14 days to solve." How's our economy? Oh yeah, okay, so that's projects. Rebuilding the Temple of the Elk. Costs 100 BP, requires 6 days to solve. Prevents the pillaging of the Temple of the Elk. So yeah, we can choose to either pillage it or rebuild it. Claim a bunch of BP. Prevents future restoration. Svanki's offer. High Priest of Airsteel, strong in spreading the Stag God's faith. Across the region is eager to build you a shrine dedicated to Airsteel on your lands. But has its own expense. Accept his offer if you wish to gain a useful ally in a place of worship for Airsteel. Yes. Okay. Harem, start that project. That seems important. Trade agreement with Sertova. Merchants will have the right to establish sizable trading posts in the heart of the new Stetven. Each city in the Barony will gain 5 extra BP per week, plus 2 BP for each town, and plus 1 BP for each village. No candidates available for this position. Oh yeah, because it would need a treasurer. Which we do not have. Oh, I want to rebuild this. Okay, but he's working on Svanki's offer. Okay, we'll do that first. Okay. Yeah, and that's the outskirts event. Okay. And how much BP do we currently have? 290. I think we could spend a bit more. I think we can still spend... Because I got the tip, they always keep around 200 or so, 100 or 200 in the back pocket. Alright, tavern. And adjacent to a longhouse. Plus 1 to... Okay, wait. Oh shoot, did I already screw up? Did I already screw up? Can't I just cancel the construction of this? Alright. Screw it. We already fucked up. Building the barracks there. Okay. And then we'll do the tavern there. Plus 1 to relation when adjacent to longhouse, plus 1 to espionage when adjacent to barracks. So it'll be adjacent to the longhouse and to the barracks. Okay. Right. Tavern, and then the tavern wants the shop. Wants the economy when adjacent to a tavern. Oh, okay. So then we need to move the granary. So then we'll move the granary. Okay, we'll move the granary there, I guess. And that means that, what was it? Shop there. Creator potions +1 to arcane when adjacent to a shrine. +1 to divine when adjacent to a monument. +1 loyalty to when adjacent to a longhouse. Okay, so shoot. Right, we'll place the granary later. We'll first shrine there. Right? Okay, so then a monument there. And an herbalist there. And a granary there. Settlement with the wheel +1 located in a settlement with a tavern. Right. Okay. Boom. That's our initial settlement. Fine. And we'll have a wooden wall built. Build all of those things. Get our town rolling. Yeah. Yeah. Alright. Seems like a good way to start. And we'll buy up a couple of BP. Right. Purchase BP. Because, let's see. Wait, how many BP do we have? 87. Okay. Right, we'll spend 1,000 to get 13 BP, and then boom, and then we have 100 BP. Okay. I think that seems like a good place to start. That's how we're gonna start this. Okay, so then we... Hey, what's that? Personal stash! Yeah! We finally have a stash! Excellent! We can put all these books in it. All these books and notes and recipes and such. We can get rid of a whole bunch of stuff from our inventory. Oh, what? No, not that. All the antiques. Diamond dust. Oh wait, ever burning torch I want to keep. This thing seems like it's important to keep. Spare bracers. That book. There, it saves a bunch of weight. I guess, you know... Oh! Whoa! Not that. There we go. Not that. We're gonna sell that. Gonna keep all the... What's that? Need... Keep all the ingredients. Right, that really cleans up. Tall young man, about 17, stands 4 years athletic, and his composure, bearing a hint of nobility. Faint smile curves his lips, and his gaze remains cold and examining. As you approach, Lander stops you, studying his fingernails. Stops studying his fingernails and broad smile, revealing brilliant white teeth. Ah, greetings. Chaotic good. You certainly seem to be in high spirits. Truly high spirits indeed. Just this morning I received news from Barvoy. My illustrious mother, may the gods prolong her years, is terribly upset by the disappearance of yours truly. Lander's smile twisted to a sneer. She's dispatched search parties to the neighbouring provinces. Discreetly, of course. She fears whatever scandal might arise due to my absence. He sighs. Well, it's not the first time she's gone to such lengths. How do you like being regent? It gives me great satisfaction, Your Grace. The very thought of how much influence the barony... I influence the barony. Ah, but you must be asking after my responsibilities. All matters are well in hand, and by no means do they hamper my other affairs. Okay. Any advice? I've met Keston Gares before. He was an able and gregarious man. Not at all like he is now. He sighs. Now he's a broken man, and I don't consider it wise to trust broken people with important positions. Well... I need to discuss politics and affairs of the barony with you. Always glad to provide counsel. So... what can you tell me of the River Kingdoms? Have you ever seen a jar full of spiders? It's much the same, only on a greater scale. A plethora of small nations and city-states that form spontaneously and dissipate just as rapidly. Nevertheless, there are those that could potentially pose a serious threat or become a promising ally. Patax makes a fine example here. I'm assuming as both. Right. What's going on between Royal House Sertova and the Eldori Sword Lords? To be blunt, sly schemers battling for power against stubborn blusterers. Long ago, both of them ruled a kingdom of their own. The Sertovas ruled over Issia and the Eldori Sword Lords over Rostland. Then Coral Rogarvia came with his dragons and made it abundantly clear to everyone that everything they saw around them was his. He came with dragons? That seems odd, considering that we're talking Pathfinder here, which means that your average dragon tends to be twice as intelligent and hundreds, if not thousands of years older than whatever mortal they might ally with. Of course, there's always the chance that Coral Rogarvia himself was perhaps a dragon. Okay, let's see. Invaded the area with the aid of fire-breathing dragons. He disappeared around that year, leaving his descendants to rule Bravoy from the dragon-scale throne at the Ruby Fortress in New Stetfin for exactly 200 years from its conquest. Every member of the noble house has disappeared in 4699. Okay. Who do you think ran quickest to express their deep devotion and loyalty? It certainly wasn't the Eldori. They fought to the last. They almost died out as a result. Over the next 2 centuries, the Sartovas squeezed everything they could from the benevolence of their rulers, and now, after the vanishing of the Rogarvia line, Nolaski Sartova has seized the throne. But the Sartovas owe a blood debt to half of Bravoy. It will prove difficult for them to hold on to that power. It makes them paranoid. They see enemies everywhere, and the Eldori are no exception. What's my barony's role in the Sartova-Eldori conflict? I'm certainly trying to win my support. The Eldori are brave and senseless. You're more likely to pull them out of trouble than be the one receiving aid. And the Sartovas are smart, but they'll gladly sell you out if they see profit in it. They're also unbearably boring. All of which means you made a wise decision when you picked me as your ally. Lander smiles. I wouldn't pander to either of them, but I'd also avoid angering either of them until there's good cause. That's enough business for now. We'll speak more later. Hey, Lindsay. Alright, we'll talk with her. She doesn't have that much interesting news to say.
The way seems clear.
Justine. Okay. Greetings. How may this humble chosen of Serenray help you? The Chosen? I don't think he didn't say The Chosen, but you call yourself the Chosen of Serenray. What do you mean by that? Sorry, that was a mere jest. Other acolytes in my temple used to tease me with that title. This should tell you just how pious and devoted I was compared to them. If my faith is strong, Serenray knows this and protects me in times of great peril. If something ever threatens my life, by her divine powers, I am transported to a safe location. Okay. Wait. So, is he? Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, he's an option here. Right. And you're also just pure cleric, right? Looks like it. He looks to be pure cleric. Yeah, he's another pure cleric. Right. Figure that out later. I mean, it's useful having a secondary cleric option. I'm pretty fine with Aram though. Aram is exactly kind of what I want from a cleric. Oof, Tristane not so much. See, Aram is much more... he's much more suited to melee combat. He actually has a strength score to write home about. A decent constitution score, making him quite tough. Even with the dude taking into account he has a belt. And a wisdom score. This guy is packing a little bit of dex, which is nice. Him and Aaron both just have int flat, but strength as a dump stat. That means that this guy is really set up more like a pure caster. Yeah, high wisdom and charisma. Ecclesiarch. Oh! Yeah, he is super pure caster. So, yeah, so he's indeed... He's a hardcore caster cleric. He gets more spell slots. But, you know, at the cost of basically not having any armor at all. Yeah, that's... I kind of like having Harem because of his toughness as well. He's more multifunctional. This one's more of a pure caster. Which... whilst it's useful to have a cleric that can cast a lot more spells, Harem can cast enough spells And Octavia is our utility caster, so I don't think I'll be using Tristane that much. And yeah, we can give him bracers of armor. That's a thing. But it'll be hard to get his armor class up to anything significant. Whilst Aaron we can just put into half plate. And he's then suddenly over the 20. He's got 10 armor class points more than Tristane does. And he can wear a shield. Heavy pick. Yeah, I don't see much of a point. No. Manage Kingdom Affairs. Guards. Personal stash.
Quiet footsteps.
Storyteller. Who are you? Ah! He's one of the advisors. I saw his picture earlier in the advisor UI. Your man standing before you resembles an elf, but a very old one. His face is wrinkled and his beard is as white as mountain snow. The man seems to be completely blind. The old man stares past you with unseeing eyes. He seems to be consumed with his thoughts. He mutters a soft melody, swaying back and forth slightly to its rhythm. The man shudders briefly and stops singing. His mouth opens and closes a few times, bringing to mind a fish brought ashore. Who's there? Is that you, your grace? Let's see. Who are you? I am an elf from Kionin. My name is not important. I am the storyteller, collector of stories. I collect unknown legends of ancient times. No, wait. Yes. Right, I'm just trying to get into this voice again. It's been a while since I used this one. Stay a while and listen. The man smiles, but it doesn't seem to be directed towards you. I don't have to narrate that part, do I? Oh well. Long ago, I was a smith in Kionin. The fire of the forge has burned out my eyes, but I am grateful for it. If I could see, I would yet forge suits of armor for Iadara's guards. Instead, I have stepped on the path of an adventurer and gatherer of ancient legends. The old man ponders silently for a moment. Many peoples are long dead, their homes crumbled to dust, and their bodies burned to ash. Only legends can still tell us of their triumphs and defeats, their joys and their fears. I would be so interested to hear the stories told about us after our demise. I've always been drawn to the Stolen Lands, where countless expeditions, armies, and even kingdoms have met their untimely ends. When I learned of a new barony being founded in the heart of these lands, I knew I wanted to be part of its story, so I made the journey here. Are you really an elf? Do other elves age like you have? A common question. Despite my unusual looks, I am an elf. An old one, yes. Perhaps older than any other elf in Kionin. However, I doubt my age alone is responsible for my appearance. I keep the stories of many people and races, some forever gone from the face of Galarian, but they live on in my memory and my heart. When I accept a new story, I lock it within myself, bearing the weight of its words and the emotions they invoke. Sometimes I think I should probably have died a long time ago, but some incomprehensible force is keeping me alive and granting me the ability to continue my quest to gather stories. Be it divine power or fell curse, I am grateful either way. How could you tell it was me? He smiles slightly. It's not so hard to recognize a ruler by the way she walks. No one here steps as confidently as you, your grace. All right, would you trade stories with me? The man's voice rustles like autumn leaves. I am a collector, not a trader. If I share a story with you, you receive the power to pass it further, changing or embellishing it, whether willingly or not. Can I be certain you will keep my stories intact in their absolute purity? Storyteller pondered for several moments. No, I do not think so. At least, not yet. These legends are the most precious valuables of this world, the last remnants of ancient tribes. They are beacons illuminating the way of the past, allowing us to meet generations long gone. I cannot let their light fade. The path to the past must not be lost. The old man thinks for a moment and then continues. But I can offer you a deal, Your Grace. If on your journey you discover items that come from eras past, bring them to me, and if my eyes can see the stories that these relics hold, I will gladly share them with you. If you can find all the pieces of any ancient artifacts, I can even recall my smithing skills to unite them and restore their power. The necklace that broke into a whole bunch of pieces! I need a wise advisor at my court. Would you like to serve me in matters of state? Storyteller's voice grows soft. Thank you for your words. I am unlikely to be able to interpret the intricacies of the political world or the affairs of the treasury, but my advice regarding the magic of the arts would be useful to any ruler. Ooh. Okay. Remind me what it is that you want from me. In your travels, pay special attention to items from ancient eras. There must be an abundance of such things throughout the stolen lands. For these lands remember the stories of the rise and fall of the kingdoms. Haha! So all those items with yellow auras. Alright, I'm gonna grab some. Precisely. And see if maybe he's interested in them. Okay, so... You know, let's start with the Stag Lord's wine and this Fang. And this Sorcerer Staff. Sure. Let's see if I can do anything with them when I bring them to him. I've brought some relics. Are any worthy of a story? Storyteller's eyebrows raise. Interesting. May I, Your Grace? He gently touches the items from your pack. Ah, the belongings of brave heroes performed the feats here before you. I sense you would be interested to hear their story, but there are too few of them here for me to recount it yet. Please find all 5 of them, and I'm sure you won't regret the time you spend in the search. Okay. Well, let's grab a whole bunch. No, that's diamond dust, that's just, you know... So cute. Okay, let's try again. Interesting. May I? Storyteller's fingers caress a symbol shaped like a tree leaf. And what's this? I hear the voice of trees, smell the scent of fresh leaves. A dryad mark, is it not? I would be happy to purchase it off you. Oh wow, bunk! Wow, that's a lot of money. Oh! Boom, all the dog tags. A soldier does not go where the banners of the war are headed, or he goes to battle and dies and leaves it to others. To decide whether the cause was just, this tag belonged to one of many warriors who helped establish the glory of the Taldan Empire. If you would permit me, I would gladly purchase it from you. It belongs to brave heroes who performed their feats here before you. I sense you would be interested in the story. These lands took many lives and spawned many legends. I can now tell you of a distant expedition undertaken by a group of Brevik heroes to a place known as the Drowned Trees. I would be happy to trade the whole set of items for their story. Can you hear it calling to it? Can you hear it calling to us? Let us hurry. Another time. Okay, I'm gonna leave the drowned trees. That's interesting to know. I'm gonna leave that for another time, though. Okay. We'll leave that for now. Huh. Two options. Area exit to the capital square. Capital Square!